All right, here we go.
31 left Bravo, late Juliet.
In 2015, we sent 2 Raspberry Pis to the International Space Station. Now, Raspberry Pi Foundation and the European Space Agency are searching for the next generation of space scientists to write code for them. Once you're registered to take part, we'll send your school a free AstroPi kit. And working as a team, we want you to write an experiment using the Python programming language. The very best will be sent to the ISS and overseen by a European Space Agency astronaut. When your data comes back to Earth, you'll complete your experiment and the best will win some incredible prizes. The AstroPi Challenge is open to all 24 ESA member countries, including associate countries such as Canada and Slovenia. You don't need to be an astronaut to work on the International Space Station. So get your team together and get involved, because space is waiting.
All right. So that is the SenseHat. And the AstroPi was part of that. All right. Now, main features of the SenseHat. We're going to be using this today. It's got an LED matrix, 64. It's an 8x8 grid. It's used as a display. On the space event, they can't afford. Yeah, we're definitely doing coding. So you are definitely going to need your Raspberry Pis tonight. We're going to hook them all up. I'll give you a minute to hook it up in a moment. Let's explain what this thing is. It's got an LED matrix. Because you don't have a display, that takes care of that. An inertial measurement unit, an IMU unit. Well, what does that all include? Well, the IMU unit includes an accelerometer. All right. Get that up there. An accelerometer measures forces. An accelerometer measures acceleration, force to mass times acceleration. You feel acceleration. You'll always feel acceleration in a car. So when you start driving, many of you are driving, when you take off or when you slow down, you feel a force in the car, either pinning your seat or pulling you away from the seat, it feels like. There's also, when you turn, you feel a force, because acceleration is related to velocity, which is measured not only in magnitude, but also direction. So in any case, this measures an accelerometer, which is helpful. The next thing it has in there, I'm trying a gyroscope, which helps you it keeps your positioning. It helps you with positioning. Okay? So it has a gyroscope, and then a magnetometer, which measures the North Pole. It measures the magnetic poles. Pretty helpful out in space. It's got a humidity sensor that also measures temperature. Humidity is good to know the amount of moisture in the air. Then you have a pressure sensor, which you can imagine in space. Measuring air pressure is a very big deal. So it has that. It also has a keyboard. They don't want the space of a USB keyboard, so there's no USB. It can be used in space. They do not want any chance of a spark. So all the astronauts go up there. They use, honestly, they're using laptops, but they don't want to haul up more equipment for this Raspberry Pi, so they had to build everything into the Raspberry Pi. Now let's go into assembly. So go ahead, get your Raspberry Pis out. Before you plug them in, plug the SenseHat, that's this thing right up here, in. Then raise your hand once you've done that. Raise your hand once you've got it. This Thursday we have lab. For those people that have lab on Thursdays, we have our lab. Liam, we're not programming an assembly. That's hardcore, my friend. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm sure if you go on the net, you'll find somewhere around controlling this. Let's get it working, though. Raise your hand once you have it. I only have 4 or so people got it put together. All right, we got everybody hooked up. All right, excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, let's go on the next page of this. You've got the test emulator too if you want to, but we're going to go on. Here's a cheat sheet. If you go here, let me select a poll. Oh, not poll. What am I doing? Choose a file. Let's get this. Also, you can download in a minute the SenseHat cheat sheet, which will help with these functions. Well, that's okay. Class of 7, nobody knows it. But yeah, you're all right. Do you need to plug it in? You can plug it in now. All right, there's a cheat sheet right here in handouts. Let's go on to the next part of this. This is where we're going to try to get rocking, folks. Let me go ahead and run this. You're going to type in the code. You're going to go under File, New, type it in that window. Make sure you're not on the outside. You're not over here, but in the window itself, not in the Python shell. And then watch. So mine's dragging a little bit because we're running the webinar. Give it a minute. Hit run. Run modules. And then watch it right over here. Hello world. That's a goal. All right. All right. So go under Python 3. Go under File, New, and then type this code on the screen. From SenseHat, import SenseHat. Notice there's both caps on that. Sense equals SenseHat with that parentheses. Sense show message hello world. Go ahead, try to run the code, and then we're going to go through on how it works. All right, plug in your Raspberry Pi. I'll leave this up for everybody. I'll leave it up there for a few minutes. We're in no rush. I don't know if you can do it with a mouse or not. I think you can try to do a keyboard. I think it's a little bit harder, Liam. You should have been. You can try the tab key. Yeah, Jean-Marc. Yeah, where's your Raspberry Pi? Show one more time. Here it is. All you do is go under a Python 3, do File, New, type this bit of code here, here, and here, and then hit Run. Yeah, you're on. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right. Yeah, you can watch it now. I'll record all this. It's being recorded as we speak. Raise your hand once you have it working, folks. Let me look at more questions. Oh, okay, Liam, I got it. Module not found. Module SenseHat. Well, I'll tell you why that is. Remember the first line has to be from SenseHat, import SenseHat. Make sure that's a capital SenseHat. Yours, import SenseHat. Make sure you have that. This is lowercase, and that's uppercase. Great, we got some working. Where's run? You hit F5. Go under run, the top of the menu. Make sure you're not doing this. Make sure you did file new and you're not running it on the shell. Tim, make sure you're not running on the shell. The run is a menu choice up there. Here, I'll show it one more time. Pause that. So you've got, there's the shell on the outside there. Let's do this. There's the shell. We're not running. We did file new. Then we went up to run, which I can show here again. You click under, oh, let's go here. Right there, the run menu right there is where you go, and then you hit run module. All right, how many people have got this to work here? Good, Mateo's got his great. Now, we have almost now. Jean-Marc can't run his. Hannah, Harry, how we doing over there? Kate, Philip, Tim, how we doing? Let me know. I don't really, we got several people here we're waiting on. I don't want to get going too much farther. Still can't find module SenseHat. You're supposed to type it in, Philip. I don't understand your question. Hands having keyboard. Let me, Philip, can I talk to you? Hey, Philip. Hello?
Yeah.
All right, what do you say? What do you mean I can't find module? It still can't get, you're getting that message error?
Yes. Every time I run it, it just gives me a can't find.
All right, look up at my screen right
module.
now. Look at my screen right now. First of all, did you do file new? You're not in the,
Yeah.
you're not, okay. Do you have from? F-R-O-M,
Yeah.
and it's orange, correct?
Yep.
SenseHat, sense underline hat. Do you see that?
Yes.
Import in orange.
Yep.
SenseHat, capital S, capital H in that.
Yes.
Next line down, sense equals SenseHat with the two parentheses.
I have that.
Sense show underline message parentheses quote hello world quote parentheses.
Yes.
You can't find modules is saying it's this. What version of Raspberry you're using? A new Raspberry Pi, right? You're one of the ones I
Yeah.
gave you, correct? It has SD
Yes.
card. It has like a road when you first boot it up, correct?
Correct.
Are you running this in Raspberry Pi 3?
Yes.
Well, something's not quite right because, I mean, we can boot it back up, boot up your Raspberry Pi again, but because this is run on 20 computers, the last class and much of this class, it's the very same code and it runs. So something's not capitalized. I really wonder about this import SenseHat here because it's acting like it can't find it from anything.
Right.
It's like this command isn't doing anything, the import SenseHat. Is there anybody there that can look over your shoulder and look at your code and make sure you're not just missing it?
No.
All right, well, even if we can't, we'll go on to the next one. I would even do a file new and just type the line from SenseHat import SenseHat, or put a pound in front of sense equals SenseHat and a pound in front of this one. You see where my cursor is? Look at here. All right, put a pound in front of that sense equals SenseHat and a pound sign in front of that. You're commenting it out. Run that and see if you can run it without an error message. It's not going to do anything, but let's see if we avoid an error message.
Okay.
Try that.
Still an error message.
All right, so let's look at this. And again, you're running this as a new file or an old file. So from FROM, you're confirming that's correct, right?
Yes.
Sense underline hat, SENSE underline hat,
Yes.
space import, IMPORT, orange,
Yes.
SenseHat, capital SENSE hat, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to need to check to see if you're running Python 2 by accident. You thought you're in Python 3 and you're really in Python 2. And
Okay.
you have lab Thursday night, right?
Saturdays.
Shoot, okay. Then boot your Raspberry Pi down, save this, and boot it back up if you're sure if you had that line's right. But you can clearly tell, it's that line of code. There's some issue there. Check your spacing, whatever, we'll find out. And make sure you're running Python 3 and you're not running it under the shell. You don't have those little red triangles, right?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna mute you now. Try that. We're just gonna add a little bit more code to this anyways. Oh, I haven't. Other people are saying some suggestions. Tell them to open the terminal and type. Tell them to open the terminal and type what? You should have that. Yes, the Raspberry Pi allows wireless. Oh, okay. Oh, now we see he's saying get the updates, sudo apt, get update, which is something you can do, though I don't think you should have to do that. I made all these Raspberry cards. Here's where he's changed. Here's what Caleb's suggesting we update. He update his Raspberry Pi. Maybe see what we may have to just update it later, but don't do it now because you'll miss half the class. We are doing this in the Python shell. No, we are not, Hannah. The Python shell comes up when you run the program. Go under File, New. Don't go into Python shell to type all this. If you've got this running, raise your hand so I get a sense of how many more people need to get this. Hannah, the Python shell will come up when it runs, but before that, go under File, New, and you get this. Click under New File. and it'll come up untitled. Make sure you run this under new file. Okay, got it. All right, great. All right, let's go back to this. Now, from SenseHat, import SenseHat. All right, we already did that. Now we're going to do more with this. You can change the scroll speed. You can change the color. The Brits spell color differently than we do it. They had a U there. And you have text color and back color. So let's go back up. Actually, before we get in this, let's jump up here. I just want to explain this code. This is saying import a library, the SenseHat module or library. You think of that. From SenseHat, import SenseHat. Then it says take this function and assign it to Sense, so we don't have to write out SenseHat every time. Sense or SenseHat function dot show message hello world. All right, so there's your little method going on. Sense, like in the game we were playing the other day. Sense, here's a method, show message hello world. Now we can add more to that to even make it. We can give a message of saying AstroPi is awesome. We can set the speed, and we can set the colors. This is the 255, 255. If this was 0, it would be red. But this is red and green, you get yellow. And then blue is 00, 255. Go ahead and try to run that. Putting everybody's hands down. Let me know when you get it rolling. Raise your hands when you start to get it. Your message can be your own personalized message. We got about half the group done, so we'll give everybody a chance to do it. I do want to tell you about these huge robot contests tomorrow. It's going to be on the Pacific, 10 o'clock tomorrow night. I'll wait till everybody sees the code. I don't see any questions here. Cool. Show a red LED near the green one. That's interesting. The matrix going. All right. We still have, I got to give everybody a chance. If you don't have, for example, Raspberry Pi with you, or there's some problem, raise your hand so we're not waiting with you when we're probably never going to get it. All right. Always ask this. I think I know the answer. I think a lot of people are going to say I'm going too slow. But our pacing is good. Great. 56% voted. I don't know. All right, 75%. 88. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 94% voted. Close the poll. All right. Good. Now, let's go ahead and move on at this point. To add a loop to all this, just hit while true. And it'll just keep the message, will just keep going over and over again. Just real quick. This should take 5 minutes. Just real quick. Not even that long. Just a few moments. Go ahead and hit while true. Put your hands down. Once you try the while true, see what it does. It's just an endless loop. All right. Again, we're back to half the class, but honestly, I think if you got while true, it's just going to show the message over and over in a forever loop. All right. You can also show a letter, in this case J, and in this case it would make the letter red. So go ahead and display a single red J. And when you get that done, you know, do a blue P for Panthers. So show a letter J if you want, get that to work, and then how would you do a letter B for blue? I think you all can figure this out pretty quickly. The only new thing really here is, here's color red, it's show letter. You know, this is show message, this is just showing letter. Raise your hand once you have that. How do I stop it? Don't worry about stopping until you run a new program. On the letter, you don't have to worry about stopping and running forever. Just run this program and it'll replace it. Control C. That's very true. Liam said, hey, hit Control C. No, you can. I mean, you can, if you go to write a new program and run it, it'll do it. Hit Control plus C if you want to stop it. But you should be able to leave out, if you're running this on a new project, go to Run, File, New, you should be able to. I'm a little bit concerned. You sure you're not doing the script? And remember, all right, in the beginning, it'll run it white, and then it'll run it the multicolor. All right, how many people got the letter up? Let's go on to the next one, guys. Thank you. All right, Greg. All right. All right, and then you can drop one letter at a time, each with its own little pause. All right, again, from SenseHat import SenseHat, also import sleep. That's a new function you're going to need to add there. SenseHat, red, blue, green, black, and white. And you can get it pretty... All right, so go ahead. Let's get that bad boy a running. By doing that, I'm going to play with this one too. Obviously, you could play with these numbers to make the colors a little bit different depending on what you're doing. I'm putting everybody's hands down. Let me know once you got it all working. You know what? And I need to show that text. I'm going to run through that text again to make sure, and when you import text, you understood each function there. that again. And you could just put Wild True at the top of this if you wanted to keep flipping through all this. You bet, Laura. I put a while loop, so did I. Because I think it does look pretty cool. I put the while loop after you define all the colors. And you got to put a tab in there. You got to move everything over 4. Go ahead, let me run it. All right, what did I do wrong? So in other words, what I'm saying is, for those people who want to add something cool to it, while true, make sure you put a semicolon there. Don't, it will let you know in no uncertain terms that you didn't. So make sure, go ahead, folks. We're this close. Make sure, go ahead. There's to add a loop to that. Make it a loop so it keeps doing it over and over again. And what you could do is, then you can also add randomness right here. Generate random from random integer import. And you see that little R? O, R. And you need to set, this what this does right here. This line of bit of code here says, hey, generate a random number between 0 and 255, assign it to R. So you can put it in there so you can get different colors as you're messing with this. And what it's going to do is give you different bright colors are wrong. I wouldn't say it'd be different colors much as different how bright the color is. My opinion. Yes, there is a way to get a pixel. All right. Now, if you want to finish up with the randomness, you can. We'll get into the next thing. We have plenty to do on this. Let me see here. Quick poll results here. We got 7% voted, 47%, 80%, 87%, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 93%. Share results. A lot of people liked it. So one or two were pleasantly, I guess, okay with it. Nobody thought it was poor. So we'll take that. I'm going to hide the results. Any other questions? I don't think we have enough time to go on some other code. I'll leave this up here for a little bit. Thanks. Have a good one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I liked mine. I got mine firing over the same message over and over again. All right then, folks. Y'all have a good evening. I'm going to leave this up for those people that want to randomize what their color looks through there. Thank you. Oh, okay, let me see. Next Fab Lab Saturday is going to be in the very beginning of November. Thank you, and can't wait to see you and come to a lab on a Thursday. I agree. Can't wait to see you on Thursday. See you guys on Thursday. Beginning of November. Tim, do you ever get the program working? Thanks, guys. Thanks, Levi. You guys are welcome. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and enter the recording of this.